We've made it.
We are here.
We are here. We are here. We are here.
Like the,
The old Who's from
yeah,
old Whoville.
from Horton Hears a Who. I should probably go share this link on. Should I go share this? Smoke a short one, please. Should I go share this on the Patreon?
You don't tell.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Nobody's here anyway. Why? Why? Let's see what happens. It's Shabbat. We'll see what's going on. Maybe somebody gets notifications. Maybe some of you won't. Either way, we're going to see. Jireh, you are enough. Oops. I will be content in every circumstance. Jireh, you are enough. There we go. Are you awake? What's up, Joe? Almost sat on the old Bible here. 1 minute. Give me 30 seconds. How y'all doing? Let's see here. Yeah, it's been a long time. I haven't even done a video in a while. I think it's been about a month. And I need to get back on the ball as far as all that's concerned. Definitely something that I want to do. Definitely something that's been a little bit harder with my current schedule. But things are changing. Things are going to hopefully start working out better. But it says we have 2 people here. So I wonder who that second person is. 2 likes, so that's cool. Batting 1,000. 2 for 2. Preppin' Tora, what's up, brother? Yeah, this is a Tabaka Special by Drew Estate. It's the Red Eye. Great cigar. Love it. I actually got this one. Oh goodness. We did a demo training, and these were available during that. And yeah. Alright. So we have Are You Awake 2 and Prepping Tora EMT and Lone Star. What's up, Lone Star? How you doing, brother?
That smells so bad.
What does?
The fire.
It's blowing that way.
Maybe I'm smelling your cigar. I don't know. Shalom, guys. Hello. Kind of far away. We're burning
Fire.
the floor we pulled out. So
Yep. So I actually have a fire built on top of the flooring so that hopefully it'll just burn through it.
yeah, he started the fire before when we got home today, and just
About 3 o'clock. And...
no,
No, it was
closer
about
to
4. It was closer
yeah.
to 4.
And so now there's like a nice fire going on top of it, but this stuff's just burning really slow.
Watching the little one being chaos.
I think what smelled so
Kinda
bad
missed that.
before might not have actually been the floor. It might have been the black trash bags,
Very well could have been.
because that smelled really bad.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Tell me anything about ATS this year. Planning on going. Did you already sign up?
They are sold out.
Yeah. Because
sold out
if you're not
fast.
signed up, there's no shot.
Hopefully you already got your stuff.
'Cause I know I will be going. Patty Sanchez, shalom, sister.
Shalom, Patty.
I will. Goodness, I will be going. Lone Star is obviously going as well. Pretty stoked about that.
Hi. We'll wait just a couple more minutes. I did post it on Patreon, the link. So.
Okay. That's probably why people are showing up. So good to see you, Patty. Hope you're well. Sure didn't because I didn't know I had to sign up. Yep.
Oh no! Yeah, it's a
It is
limited spot.
It's limited spots and it's a paid event.
Yeah, so it's they usually open it up to men's group first, right? On the or they open it up to the Zoom call. Or
If
men's
you're on
group?
the Zoom call first, you have access.
Yeah, and that's usually they do it
Yeah.
a couple months, I'd say, before the actual event, and then they release it to Patreon.
They released it. Well, Patreon. If you're on the Zoom calls, that is a Patreon exclusive.
Oh, okay, so basically it gets released to Patreon.
It filled up very fast
It
within
did.
the first, couple days.
Yeah, and the women's retreat, I think that might be sold out now too. I think it might. I know the men's one is. I don't remember if the women's is. Man, that stinks. You know what, Prepping Tori, you could email admin at
If it's sold out, it's
no, but
sold.
sometimes people drop out, and
Oh.
you can get on like the list if
That's
if
true.
there's-
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes there's things that come out and people just can't go.
You might put in an email.
I want to say admin at Bear Independent.
It would most likely be admin@bearindependent.com.
Yeah, Patty.
And just say you missed the update on ATS, and if somebody drops out, you'd love to take their place.
Yeah.
So I would do that pretty quick. Really upset about it because I was planning on getting baptized by Brother Twitch.
Where do you live? Like, you don't have to obsec yourself, but how far?
Yeah.
How far do you live? We have a lot of people who, well, I mean, a lot of people get baptized when they travel. You know.
True.
So. Yeah, that stinks. And have you reached out to him? I would definitely reach out to him. South Central Georgia. I wonder if they've got anything set for Georgia this year. For
Oh, that's a possibility.
yeah, you should
That
find
is a
out.
possibility.
Refuge Training does stuff all over the country, and if they have anything set for that area, you can always contact Twitch. He is like always ready to baptize.
Anytime there's a baptism, he's down.
Yeah, that is.
And as far
A
as
calling.
ATS is concerned, like There's no
Arkansas living is
What are we weirdos
here.
up to? Being weird?
How's Canada? The Arkansas province. Oh, that's awesome.
That's good. Yeah,
Zadok, stop.
lay.
Lay down. Come on, lay down. Lay down.
Lay.
Good boy. Hey,
We're dealing with that one.
you don't contribute enough to this house or know what government is to sigh like that. I saw that on Instagram today. It was like, my dog sighs way too much. Did you guys hear that? That's his dad scratching my ear sound.
Warm front in the southern province. Yeah, how you liking it?
What are you doing? My pits act the same way.
They just have so
Can
much
anyone
attitude.
do a baptism? Heck freaking
Yes.
Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why anybody can do a baptism? Because not a single one of us is worthy in any capacity whatsoever. Because we'll never be worthy. The only way that we are seen as worthy is through the blood of Yeshua. So if you have Yeshua as your Messiah, baptize away.
I would
Baptize.
say this. You don't want an unbeliever baptizing you.
Hey.
Just put it that way.
So if
You do want an individual who is operating in righteousness to baptize you. Because if they're operating in righteousness, chances are that they're operating in spirit and in truth, and therefore can operate in the authority of the Spirit to baptize an individual. But to what my wife had said, there is none that is worthy. Not one.
So like if the enemy's telling you, like if you're wanting to baptize somebody and he's telling you, but you're not worthy to do that, that's a lie. Don't listen to that. Yeah, you'd be like, yeah, you're right, I'm not worthy, but guess who is? Yeshua, and I'm covered by him. So, boom. So, me and coworker were just discussing this 10 minutes ago.
Okay. Which I'll come to. So I'll put it this way. John the Baptist is touted by our Messiah, Yeshua, as being the most righteous man that ever walked the face of the earth. That's interesting, isn't it? He was the most righteous man. He was zealous for the Torah, and he believed that Yeshua was the Messiah and operated in the Spirit accordingly. How can you be praying for us? Honey, I'm going to go deal with that.
Okay. Patty, I would love prayer. I'm dealing with some health stuff right now. And
Would you stop yelling out and sit your butt down?
sorry.
Sit down now.
Anyways, I am dealing with some health stuff right now. I'm really believing that the Father is healing me. So I would love for you to stand in agreement with me that He is healing me, like every second. And yeah, I would relish your prayers, Patty. Thank you. I agree. Are you awake too? I think that's I know there are people who define believers differently. I personally do not think that someone has to have the revelation of Torah yet to baptize.
Absolutely not.
And the reason I say that is because, first of all, you can have Torah and not have Yeshua, and it's literally no good to you.
True that.
There's no point in keeping. There's no point. If you're keeping Torah for your salvation, you might as well not keep it at all.
Look, if Yeshua said that he came to play Ra'u, which means to embody the Torah, what good is the Torah without the Messiah?
Yeah. So if you have so I think like when I was baptized as a younger person, and I'm gonna get baptized again, but I was baptized as a younger person in a church, and like if someone were to come to me and be like, that didn't count, I'd be like, nah, you're silly. Like, like that doesn't. So I think when people are getting baptized in church, the Father still sees that. I don't think it needs to be this like, but they don't know about Torah, or they celebrated Christmas last year or anything like that. You know what I mean?
I count baptism the way I would count not necessarily communion, like you need to do it every day or anything, but you can do it as often as you would like.
Yeah. Oh, remember
It's an identity thing.
Amanda and Kevin? We at Sukkot. She just would run out into the water and like, bloom, like, and I want to say like that wasn't her first time to do that. She, like, it's kind of a refreshing thing. Like, I don't know. I want to get baptized again. We wanted to talk about tonight, communion, and
Sorry about the buzzing of the phone.
yeah, at least it's not incoming transmission.
Yeah, I turned my notifications down.
But we wanted to talk about communion and what it really means, and something that I grew up in church, like regular church.
Do you have that scripture?
It's, I don't have it off the top of my head.
Why not?
I'm sorry.
I was expecting you to. I didn't study
okay.
at all.
Lone Star, I was just praying on this topic the other night. I was baptized at like 10. I've come so far in my walk, not as far as I'd like, but it seems so long ago. Do it again. I mean, not that it didn't count as a 10-year-old, but do it again. Just as like
Look, bro, you have an entirely different understanding as a grown man than what you did as a 10-year-old Christian little boy. Now you have the understanding and knowledge of Torah, and you have a completely different outlook on what it means to be a man of the Most High, to be a man of God. So if that is something, and more specifically, if there are things that you're struggling with that you would like to die to your flesh, because hey, we're supposed to die to our flesh daily, but the point of baptism is to be an outward expression of what the Most High has done within you. Outward expression of what the Father has done in your heart. You
kind of
physically,
like renewing vows. That's a great way to look at it.
yeah, absolutely. You're dying to your flesh once again.
So I can look up that verse. But I don't know how many of you were taught this, but I was taught
Look it up.
That shalom, Jason.
Jason, what up, bro?
I was taught that you, if you take communion unworthily, that basically it can make you sick, like, and you can die, stuff like that. So I would literally watch.
Look it up.
Okay.
So that we can go through it as you talk about it. Which this is actually how I was taught as well. And
Yeah,
so
so
as you
I
talk about
would
it, we can actually hit the verses
1
specifically.
Corinthians 11:27. So I would just let the bucket or the thing pass by. Like even as an adult, like in the last few years, I would do that because um I've had a problem feeling worthy for a long time. And my mom had sent me this teaching, and Heath and I listened to it together, and we were in agreement like that this was it was really different than what we were taught growing up. And
And then I went into the Word and
yesterday you
began.
actually looked into it, right?
Yesterday, I looked into the Word and realized
Did you watch the Lone Badger?
what this dude was teaching.
Oh yeah, Lone Star said we was taught the same, drinking damnation on yourself. Golly, like what a
Because that's the verse in 29. For the one who is eating and drinking unworthily eats and drinks judgment to himself, not discerning the body of the master.
So let me preface first by saying, like, we're not saying you should go into taking communion without like examining yourself and being like, Father, if there is any sin that I need to repent for, and repent or whatever. But this teaching that I had watched, or we watched together, the gentleman was talking about, you know, he was taught that, and so he said when the plate would go by him, he's like, well, I'm not going to take that. What he said was, Mama didn't raise no fool. Like, because what if there's something that is there, and I'm
Lay
not going to
down.
take that and like drink, like you said, Lone Star, drink damnation on myself. And then he had the revelation at some point that when it was talking about drinking unworthily and not discerning the body of Messiah or Christ, that didn't mean that like it was because of our unworthiness, because he said none of us are worthy. None of us are worthy. Like it, without Yeshua, there's nothing that we could do. There is no way for us to possibly keep Torah to the point that it would make us worthy. So us coming in to partake of his body and his blood in remembrance of what he did for us, we're not going to do that worthily without him.
What is that scripture? Is it Isaiah 53?
Yes, Isaiah 53.
So let's go. Hold on. Let's read Isaiah 53 real quick, because I think this is an important point to drive home, which is where this actually gets important. Because this is the establishment of the meaning of the communion. There it is. Okay.
What is that sound?
They're probably filling up their water tank.
Oh.
So Isaiah 53. Let's just start in verse. Verse 1.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Who has believed our report, and to whom was the arm of Yahweh revealed?
Oh. And in his name, is it Yeshua's name?
Yod He Vav He.
No, Yod He Shin Ayin.
Oh, Yod
One
He
of them
Wa,
looks
Yod
like
He Wa Shin Ayin.
one of them looks like an arm, doesn't it? Isn't that one?
Yeah, the
one
Yod.
Of the things? Oh. Wait, no, because Yod He Wa He is.
Hand behold, nail behold.
Oh. Keep reading.
All right. So that's an interesting point that Lauren brings up, is to whom was the arm of Yahweh revealed? That arm, that Yod. It's Yeshua, the Messiah, our master, Yeshua. And it says, for he grew up before him as a tender plant and as a root out of dry ground. He has no form or splendor that we should look upon him, nor appearance that we should desire him. despised and rejected by men, a man of pains and knowing sickness, and as one from whom the face is hidden, being despised, and we did not consider him. Shabbat Shalom. Who was that?
Taylor Smiley.
Taylor Smiley. Shabbat Shalom. Truly he has borne our sickness and carried our pains, yet we reckoned him smitten, stricken by Elohim, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was pierced. He took the nails in the hands and his feet, then a spear into his rib cage.
The thorns on the head.
Yeah, all of that. He was crushed for our crookednesses. The chastisement for our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. We are.
Not
are.
Going to be.
Not
we
were.
Are.
Not. It may happen. By his stripes we are healed.
So
that's the establishment of the verse that we're trying to get to here is by his stripes we're healed. In Yeshua, his body was broken and bruised. He was whipped. He was beaten. His skin was torn to shreds. He was quite literally in every possible way unrecognizable.
I don't know if they can see me or not, so I'm just waiting. Sorry, neighbor stuff. But so the idea that that we have to be worthy enough to be able to take it, I'm not sure that that's a correct teaching, because I mean, how many of us want to do that in remembrance of him and risk that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a verse in Proverbs, TJ brought that up to me today, that says a righteous man stumbles 7 times, but
7 times the righteous man gets back up.
Yeah, and it's like we are born into sin, literally born into sin. Our flesh,
the human heart is continually evil and wicked in all its ways. Who can know it but Yah?
Like our flesh is separate from our spirit, right? It says that the spirit is willing, the flesh is weak, right? We're gonna sin, and praise Yah, we have Yeshua as our mediator and our atoning sacrifice. So if we're coming to take communion, and we're going to talk about what it actually represents when we take it, when we come and we take that, we need to come with that in mind, that yeah, I'm totally unworthy. I am so unworthy, but I have Yeshua. I have Yeshua as my sacrifice, as my atoning sacrifice. So if you come to the Father and you have a repentant heart, and you repented, and you focus it on him and his worthiness, and you discern his body, which is what we're about to talk about, discerning his body. His body was bruised and broken and pierced, and the chastisement of our peace was upon him. When we take that bread in remembrance, we need to be thinking about what he did for us. Like, what does that bread represent? It's not just like, let me pop this piece of unleavened bread in my mouth, like, cool, I did it. No, that literally represents the body. When he broke it and handed it to his disciples, he said, take this and eat. This is my body. What did his body do for us? So when we take that and we think on and we meditate on all of the things that we just read in Isaiah 53, all the things that he did for us, the chastisement for our peace, the bruising for our transgressions, and by his stripes we are healed. Get our focus off of us and onto him.
Yeah. See, I believe that in that moment, the disciples didn't truly recognize the significance of what Yeshua was saying until they saw him hanging on the cross. And then at that point, I believe they absolutely knew. I believe Isaiah 53 came to their head at that point. this is what he meant. This is my body. It was
Lone Star
broken.
said, we are able to commune with the Father/him because of what he did. Why would we discourage each other in the church from this communion?
Yeah.
And then J.S. Badra, there has to be blood in the sacrifice. Abraham and his son are a portion of it. Portent? Did you mean portion?
Portion.
But Abraham was provided the ram, remember, in the thicket. And then his blood represents the atonement for our sins. You know, I was explaining to the kids about animal sacrifices and stuff like that, and how they would have to go to the temple and they would bring the animals. And
This cup is the renewed covenant in my blood.
the fact that we don't have to show up someplace with an animal for that animal to have to take the representation of our sin and then show up the next day again because you messed up again. You know what I mean? The fact that we have a Messiah who was the perfect spotless lamb and made atonement for us, like, it's finished. He became that sacrifice for us. So when you partake of the wine, that is what we're doing. We're remembering the fact that he is our atoning sacrifice. Not eyes on us, eyes on him. Shalom, Mark Chase, new subscriber here.
Mark Chase, shalom, brother. So when it says,
oh, okay, I didn't know that word, Badger.
so when it says in Mark Chase, just for your edification, we are in 1 Corinthians chapter 11. And when it says in verse 28, but let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. 29, for the one who is eating and drinking unworthily eats and drinks judgment to himself.
Comma.
Why? And there's a comma there. And he's answering why this is. Because they do not discern the importance of what that bread symbolizes. It has nothing to do with the sin in the man. It has nothing to do with me being unworthy in terms of I am wretched and I must repent. I am taking of the bread in recognition that through that bread, I believe that Yeshua truly was the one and only begotten Son of the Most High living God, and he was bruised and beaten and chastised, and by his stripes, like it says in Isaiah 53, that we are healed. We break that bread. If you take of the communion without that recognition, then you suffer the consequences of verse 30. Because of this, many excuse me, are weak and sick among you, and many sleep. Sleep meaning they're dead. Because they neglect to recognize the importance of what it is that they just took. Because that blood is the establishment of the renewed covenant that is within the Torah via his blood. And of course the body, the bread being broken. The way his body was pierced and broken for us.
So the message that I was watching, they did they were talking at the end of it, and they were about to take communion together, and he said, if you're not a believer, you can't take this, but if you want to have him in your life, raise your hand and we'll have someone pray. They were going to pray with them. And people came down, and this is a church, okay? But this got sent to me by a family member, and I didn't I didn't not watch it because it was a church, you know what I mean? And people came down to receive him, and I was talking to Heath about this. You know, these were very dogmatic. They were very judgmental and stuff like that. And there's a real problem in the Torah community with casting judgment on other believers who haven't received or haven't gotten to that point of
Understanding Torah.
Torah yet. And not only that, don't think
That was fun.
I'm saying that I agree with like what C churches teach and stuff like that, but I think they do teach a lot of truth. There's some things that I don't agree with, you know. But when you have people who were dead in their sin and they didn't know Messiah at all, and they're coming to know him, even if it's at one of these big C churches, they just found out who Messiah is. Like, they may not know exactly everything about it, but now they have Messiah, like the foundation, because Torah is nothing without him. Like, it doesn't save us. So I think it would be wise for us as we walk through this journey to not let Pharisaical type thinking enter into our walk and let God be the judge of that kind of stuff, you know. And there's a big thing missing, and not everybody, obviously. Like, there are lots of people. There are people in the Torah community who are still out there preaching the gospel. But there is something lacking within the Torah community when it comes to reaching out and getting Messiah out there. We're really good about teaching about not doing the pagan holidays. We're really good about saying don't eat pork. We're really good about the feast days and telling people about the feast days. But what about the foundation? What about Yeshua? Where are we good at doing that? Are we actually going out and helping spread the good news?
Yeah,
are we doing that?
Should we jump out of one ditch and into another? Jump out.
It's true, Patty. It's true.
What?
Judgment goes the other way too. My friends are joining the cult. It's true, and that's the thing.
It does
too.
both ways.
Judgment. We just shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean? Man, I mean, I get it. We went through a lot of stuff too as far as judgment. You know, the Mooses just went through a lot too after the holiday or during the holidays. But I think, like, you know, it talks about getting back to your first love. And I know some people, I think, feel like maybe that's the Torah. But without the Torah, I mean, without Yeshua, the Torah is just, it's not going to do anything for us. You know, we're not going to do it perfectly.
Yeah.
As much as we try, and it's our desire to not, like, I don't think I could ever go back to eating pork. Like, I just can't do that. Like, it would feel so wrong for me to do that, you know? Or, like, the idea of going out to eat on Day of Atonement or something like that, you know? Like, we have that knowledge, and we already have that on our heart. Like, we don't want to do that, you know what I mean? But getting back to the understanding of who Yeshua is, what he did for us, especially if you struggle with feeling unworthy like I do, realizing and finding that rest in his arms, knowing that, yeah, you are unworthy, but Yeshua died for you, and he loved you, and the Father sees you through the lens of Yeshua and his atoning sacrifice. My mother-in-law is asking my wife if we're Jewish. She's worried that I'm stealing her away into a commune. Oh, man. Patty, no, Badger. Patty Sanchez, your friends in the cult approve this message. That's hilarious. Once your eyes are opened and know you can't truly in good faith go back. Yeah, it's just, it's like,
It's true.
I know about Sabbath. And so while I'm having this like moment, this period of time where I'm starting to kind of lean more into the love of Yeshua and resting in his of what he did for me, and realizing that as much as I strive, that when condemnation comes in, it really doesn't have a place. There's a place for the Spirit, and there's a place for the Spirit to convict you, but there's not a place for condemnation, right? And I struggle with condemnation. So even though I'm like taking these steps to try and rest in that, that doesn't mean that I'm going to be like, well, Shabbat doesn't mean anything now because I'm resting in that. No, like, you know what I mean? Like, tomorrow we're going to rest. So
Yeah.
circumcision of the heart is such a powerful thing working in you. Are you awake too? I ate pork and didn't know it and legitimately sick the next day. That's because it's terrible for you. Anyways, I don't think Keith and I can say like, oh, we're 1,000% right about the communion thing, because there's always room for people to be in error because we're humans. But growing up,
the word says what it says.
growing up being taught to not take it unworthily just puts such a fear on the idea of taking it. And maybe people who don't struggle with fear like that was like not a thing for them, but I think for those who do struggle with fear, it took, number one, it took any joy out of taking it, and it made it so like scary, when it should be something that's like you're supposed to do it in remembrance of what he did for you. Like Passover, we eat Passover in remembrance of being passed over, right?
And as often as you do this,
do this in remembrance of
and
me.
as often as you drink this cup and break this bread, do it in remembrance of me. What did he do? It's what it's all about.
Yeah. Can you guys hear our kids?
Yeah, that's
RVs
that's
have
a good
like
question. Can you hear them?
They're right in there just yelling, and we can hear like all of it. We're
Very
outside.
distracting. I'm glad it's. Gosh, freaking notifications go away.
Oh my gosh.
It
Anyways.
freaking reminds you like 15
the
times
same message.
that you have
hey,
a
you
notification.
have a message and you didn't check it. Hey, you have a message.
I don't care.
You didn't check it. But man, hey, have y'all seen The Chosen? Because if you haven't, you should, for sure.
Yeah, it's starting to get pretty good.
Well, it's been good. I mean, I love it. I think they do such a good job. Now, there's been a couple of things that I'm like, they could have left that out, or like, I don't see that being. There was a couple of things, but like Yeshua in 2 episodes ago or something, the Pharisee that was in Nazareth, where he grew up, who he learned under, was upset with him because Yeshua had basically just said like he's the Messiah, right?
Yep.
And Yeshua's like talking to him, and the Pharisee's like, we have the law of Moses, and Yeshua's like, I am the law of Moses. Dang. And then the poster, or like the picture for the episode that's coming out tomorrow or Sunday, for the woman with the issue of blood, who was unclean. You guys realize that, right? Like, she was unclean. Like, for 12 years straight, that woman was unclean. And so she came up and touched him.
It's not that she was...
No, season 3 is out on the app. It's called The Angel Studios on Roku, and they have it on the phone, too. I don't know what it is on the phone.
It's not that she was just dealing with the issue of blood. She was dealing with the fact that she was unclean for such a long period of time. Unclean is unclean.
Like, she couldn't be around everybody else.
She couldn't be around
everybody. If they
everybody.
found out that she was there, I mean, it was like scorned. You know what I mean? Like, and anyone she touched was unclean until sundown. Like, Could you imagine how isolating? She couldn't have a husband, she couldn't have a family. And anyways, the reason I brought that up is the picture for that is the woman on the ground reaching up, and you just see Yeshua's tzitzits hanging off of his garment, and her touching it. And I showed it to Heath last night. I was like, look at this. um, yeah, the first
There's
three
the
are out.
topic.
Number 4 will be out on Sunday.
There's a topic there, just the tzitzit alone.
As
Will
a
oppress
child fears their
believers through
earthly father when
accusation.
learning right from wrong, that fear turns into respect and then to love. So it goes when coming to the Father, but so much more. At least that's how I see it. Rebuke me if I'm wrong, brothers. See, I grew up, and my mom is, she recognizes now that like that was not right, but because she was learning that too, so that wasn't an intentional way of teaching me. It was just what she had been indoctrinated with too. Such a and this was outside of Torah. This was just in the church. This legalistic view of the relationship with the Father. I mean, we used to go to a church that taught you literally, almost everything that you did or anything. They taught almost anything that went wrong was because you sinned in some way.
Hey, have you ever considered charging your phone?
Yeah, sometimes. And so, what for someone who deals with not understanding the Father's love, not accepting the Father's love, self-hatred, unlovingness, self-bitterness, feeling unworthy, to have the idea put in your mind that when something goes wrong, even like hitting your head off is because you've sinned in some way, probably not a great way to cultivate I mean, golly, like what kind of relationship?
There's no relationship.
One of the things that's been something I have to overcome is that idea that he's not up there annoyed with me or like angry with me or tired of me. You know what I mean? Or like tired of me messing up yet again, kind of thing. Or just like that he looks on me with love. It's kind of hard to look on yourself with love if you don't think that he loves you. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to have compassion on yourself if you don't think that he has compassion on you. And it says that we have a high priest who is tried in every way, the same as we are, yet
Thank
without
you, Badger.
sin, and that he has compassion on us. He understood, he lived the life of a human. He lived through all the things that we go through. It's not like he never experienced life the way that we experience life, so he doesn't have a real view of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Badger. I wish it would go away, though. Is there a way to make that go away?
I don't know.
Okay. So
Whenever there's more comments, it should scroll up.
Of course, Satan will oppress believers through accusation when they are practicing spiritually powerful actions.
It's a great point. Right.
And it says that the accuser of the brethren stands before him day and night. In Revelation, it talks about that the accuser, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Seems to me the closer to the target, the harder they attack. I just remind them what Yeshua said. Remember, they hated me first.
Well, there's a dichotomy to that. Because a lot of it comes down to mindset as well. Where we have to be intentional with what we're doing. So if you're an individual who spends a lot of time in your own head, that's not a good thing. It's not. Because then you end up with being led falsely by emotion. You end up going down the wrong road because you're not able to see the truth for what it really is, because you're listening to something in your subconscious that's told you or filtered something for
Y'all
you
be
to
quiet.
tell you what something is when it's really not the case.
I feel like you're saying this from experience.
Yeah, so at which point it's really difficult to have uh, discernment of what is of the spirit versus what is
Yes.
truly in your own head.
It's like I have struggled in my life with being afraid of if I'm rebuking something or I feel like there's an accusation or something like that. That verse about
Crazy Canuck, Shabbat Shalom,
um,
brother.
that
Glad
verse
you stopped
about
by.
the Holy Spirit and not blaspheming the Holy Spirit,
Yeah.
that would be like such a big thing for me. It would be so hard. It would be hard for me. I don't mean it would be. I still struggle with this sometimes. With feeling like, oh, I want to rebuke that, but what if that's not accusation? What if that's the Holy Spirit? And then it like gets you in this this place of like, I don't want to offend the Holy Spirit, like, so it's we okay. We took the have you guys heard of the Clifton Strengths thing before? There's that, and then there's another thing called 16 Personalities, and it's a test you can do online, and it basically asks you. It's like a ton of questions, and then based on the way that you answer these questions, they tell you what your um,
It's really good for employers.
personality is like. Heath got one of the most rare, right? Was yours one of the most rare? Or mine was one of the most rare. Heath's was called Commander, and when you read it, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Logical, rational, doesn't do emotion very much. Other people's.
As a matter of fact, the INTJ thing, yes. Both
I didn't do it for a long time because
both
I thought it was
TJ
like
and
a
I
pagan thing.
were ENTJA, and the A stands for aggressive. We're both incredibly aggressive.
No,
individuals.
assertive.
Assertive.
Yeah.
Same thing. We are both assertive individuals.
Heath was like
We are aggressively
the
assertive.
way that they measure that last letter, and I didn't do this for a while because I thought it was some weird pagan thing, and then no, it's not. It's just a bunch of personality questions, and then based on like, okay, are you like there's a part where they decide like, are you an extrovert or an introvert? Like, are you assertive or turbulent? And turbulent meant like you're led by your emotions. It's very very emotional. Assertive is like you're more steady, like you're rational, I think, anyway.
Yeah.
Heath got like the over here on the assertive. I was like 87% or 83% turbulent. I was like, that is such crap, but it's so true. So like we did these personality tests for work, and Heath has got like he's assertive, he's like a go-getter, but like there's also other things where he can come off as a certain way because he's very like one track, like people's emotions being mixed into decisions is like not a thing, whereas for me,
I see
I'm
things very much how they are without taking into consideration another's emotions, because
yeah
a lot of the time I don't believe emotion gets anybody anywhere. And I believe that.
oh I believe it gets us somewhere.
I mean,
I just don't know if it's anywhere good.
here's the thing, like the Father gave us emotions for a reason, right?
Introverts disperse.
So they should emotions should be utilized as a tool for which they are. They are tools. So you have fear for a reason, because if something is sneaking up behind you, you can initiate fight or flight.
Sorry.
I did say it weird. Go get your charger. Weirdo.
Okay. Well, hold on. I got Defender. Well, actually, I got two different ones, which is stupid. But I think that's because I don't know how to answer sometimes. I'm like, I don't know. I know what I want to do, but like this seems more like what I would do. And then there's like anxiety. I'm like, well, if I didn't have anxiety, this is what I would choose. Like, I used to be a very extroverted person. I was not an introvert. I was an extrovert.
Yeah.
Like, when we got married, I was just extrovert all the way. Over the years, I have slowly become an introvert. And it has everything to do with anxiety. If I didn't deal with anxiety, I wouldn't be an introvert. So it was hard for me to take those tests because I'm like, I know what I want to be. I know who I truly am, but like I know how I am currently. You know what I mean? But I got Defender and I got the nature one, very emotional.
We killing that.
Can you not just do a drop down and do
I don't know how to do that.
Gotta go, peep. Shabbat shalom, tradesman.
Shalom,
It can be
Michael.
crippling. We have to push past that. I know I'm INTJ. Not sure about the last. I think I was. I'm gonna go grab my charger. Hold on. You have your picture, don't you?
I do have my picture.
Oh,
It's all on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna unplug the light and then plug it back in. One moment.
Hi. Yeah. Holly, could you make him peanut butter bread? Oh, sorry. Hey, Jace. Okay, Jet. Hey, why are you on Hallie's bed? Did you just hear him? Because I'm on Hallie's bed.
Oh,
Okay, don't get down till
Good
Hallie
answer,
comes
Jet.
back.
great answer. Why is
Okay.
he on Hallie's bed? Because I'm on Hallie's
Do
bed.
you need help down or are you staying upstairs? Okay, don't get down without Hallie. Okay. Now I have a charger.
Hold that.
Yay. Okay. Let's see. I think I might have taken. Ooh, I just got really hungry. I'm down 17 pounds, you guys. Let's see. I've got Billy Ray Cyrus in here. Oh yeah, ISFJT. I got Defender, and I just can't remember what it stands for now. Let's see. If you guys want to try it, it's called 16 Personalities. And they'll break down each of those letters and tell you like what
There it is.
sorry.
Sometimes you just
what
gotta
it,
blow on it.
what describes that personality. I'm trying to find, let's see, Defender. Here we go. So the last letter is always, the A or the T is either assertive or turbulent. Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay, so the different things that they do it by is the I. So I'm a Defender is an ISFJ, introverted, observant, feeling, judging personality trait. And then they'll talk about the different things in there, like gift of loyalty, highest of standards. So this is something. Tell me if somebody who struggles with feeling worthy, this doesn't sound right. For Defenders, good enough is rarely good enough. People with this personality type can be meticulous to the point of perfectionism. They take their responsibilities personally, consistently going above and beyond and doing everything that they can do to exceed others' expectations. But one of the let's see. There was one part, I think.
Miss Lovely Dudley. Shalom, sister.
Hi! Let's see. There was something else.
Let's see if we...
I think, it was strengths and weaknesses is what it was under. They'll go over strengths and weaknesses. Let's see. Taking things personally is one of the weaknesses. And, let's see. Repressing their feelings. I don't really know that I repress my feelings. No, actually, I do. I totally do, except for with Heath. With Heath, I just vomit my feelings all over him.
All the time. Always having to go to the bathroom to clean up vomit.
Ah.
And I just lost 2.
Bread. Can I have it? Can I have it?
Yeah.
No.
Dad
Oh.
didn't finish it.
No. Shut the door.
Okay.
Dad literally just said no. But Dad didn't eat it.
Obviously, and I literally just said no.
That what?
You can't have it.
I know.
Shut the door.
What should I do if he wants peanut butter bread?
Dude, shut the door.
I think it was the other one because I remember I took it twice. The other one said something in there about
Enough about you. Let's talk about me.
Okay, let's talk about you. Oh
Just
my
kidding.
gosh.
She likes talking about me, though.
Oh, whatever.
It's true. I don't mind hearing it.
One of the things too, it says that we take our work personal,
Yeah.
which I totally
Oh my
do that.
gosh.
That copper wire is burning super glue or whatever it is, it's burning.
I wish I knew how to.
Turn off. No, silent your phone. It's your phone, honey.
What do you mean?
Pull down again. Double pull down. And now turn off the little that. Turn it to one more time. There. Now nothing will happen.
Oh, okay.
See, you never touch that button.
I've never touched that
Heath
button.
is always upset with me because
I've never touched it.
my phone is consistently on
Always. Every single time.
silent. Well,
She's like, babe, can you call my phone? I
He's like,
lost
"Why?"
it. Won't do any good. You won't hear it.
well, it's on. It's not on completely
Perpetually.
silent. It will.
Perpetually on silent. No
it's not-
vibration.
No,
nothing.
yes, it is. No, it's not. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's it.
Badger. Enough of me talking about me. What you think? You want to talk about me?
What do you think of me? Oh my gosh. Shalom, sheepdog tinker. I just grab another phone.
Hey Dad.
Yes.
Can I please have some Nintendo?
No.
Tomorrow, can I?
No.
Ew, blue fire.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay, shut the door.
Okay.
Anyways, our personality type is really different, and you were talking. We started talking about this because you were talking about emotions and it getting in the way of your spiritual walk. Because if you're really rational, like, okay, look at this. I don't know if you guys have heard of Mel Robbins. We don't agree with everything she does. She's got there's some stuff that's like a little, or at least people on her podcast could be new agey. But she does some really, really good podcasts about like your brain and like switching off like and switching on self-love and stuff like that. And she did this one about high-fiving yourself in the mirror and like showing yourself, hey, I love you. Okay? Because especially if you struggle with
telling
unlovingness,
yourself that you love yourself.
because we're supposed to love our neighbors as ourselves. How can you love your neighbor if you hate yourself? Like, truly.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Heath like goes to do this the other day, like by himself, and he's telling me about it, right? He's like, he high fives himself and he's like, the Father loves you. And in his mind, his brain goes, I know. And like, he's like, yeah, like totally, there's no like question in his mind that the Father loves him. Like, that's not a thing for him. I have another friend who's like that. She's never worried about her salvation, just so confident. Like, she loves Yeshua. Like, and then there's people like me, and I have a couple other friends who don't have that.
That's a lot of handprints to clean.
Oh my gosh.
It's true.
So then there's people who struggle with that, struggle with loving themselves, struggle with thinking the Father could love them because they constantly feel like they're messing up or whatever. And Heath was saying, like, I can see where people struggle with that or could struggle with that, but for him with the way he's wired in his personality,
like every time I
not a
look in the
thing.
mirror, the dude looking back winks at me. It's crazy.
he just doesn't struggle with with that. So when he is counseling me, right, and I'm crying for the seventh time of the day, and Heath is just like, okay, like this is such a good example. If I can find a clip of this, I will put it on the Patreon. Don't watch this show; it's super crude. We stopped watching it. It was just too crude.
Zedek Talmudim, Shalom.
Shalom. But there was a show called New Girl, okay? And in the first episode, there was a character, it was a black guy who was awesome. His name was Coach, okay? Coach didn't do feelings very well. And Jess this is the girl, she's sitting there crying, and he just is looking at her and he goes, "Stop crying." Like,
stop it.
Yeah. And he didn't talk to women well, but he just was he was Coach, you know. And Heath will, like, you know, seven times in of me having a breakdown is like, you just have to stop. Like he's
It's
so logical,
literally the answer.
so
Stop.
rational, so unemotional, and then there's me just like, I can't, like, you don't understand. And be like, no, I understand. And then he has like the most logical da 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, but it feels. He's like, feelings don't matter. Feelings aren't facts, you know. And it's pretty.
But
interesting.
it's true. It's so true.
Now here's a question. Like,
Why is it true though?
because feelings lie to you.
Feelings are deceitful.
Yeah.
See, here, and this is why. Because, and I've told Lauren this, if I went solely on feelings, I would have divorced her a long time ago. But love is not based on feelings. That's what the world tells you.
Now it sounds like you don't like me.
I love you very much.
No,
And I actually like you too.
But
Sometimes the stars, would she?
like, sometimes the tears help bring clarity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
And I'm not mitigating that. Emotion can be incredibly important
and cleansing,
and absolutely cleansing.
depending on.
I'm not saying I don't cry, because I do. It really depends on the moment. I am receptive to what the Spirit is doing. So if there's anything spiritual going on, I will tear up quick. But with that said, I have to be careful not to allow my emotions to cloud the situation.
Yeah. Whereas I struggle with the logical side of things and removing the emotion that's hindering me from being able to make a decision or being able to move on from something, or the ability to not drown myself in fear or something like that.
Yeah.
And whereas Heath has the ability to, like, you know, they tell you to walk in faith. Faith can be harder when you're more emotional. Because emotions they're not bad, but they can be bad if you let them rule your life, and that's my struggle. So, you know, if there were two people who were married and they were both overly emotional, things would be pretty difficult. And then if you had two people, Miss Lovely Dudley, you could probably attest to this. If you had two people who were completely logical and unemotional, people would probably just think they were jerks. You know, like, you can ask Heath. I help Heath see other people's feelings when things happen, or I will help him. I give him a different view than what he's seeing when situations happen. Just like he can give me the logical view when I'm really needing it and I'm emotional, I provide that same level of helping him be softer when he needs to be softer, because his personality type doesn't process other people's emotions the same way that mine does. I have empathy, like a lot of empathy. Like, I cry super easy. See somebody else crying, I'm gonna start crying probably.
But
you know?
I've actually had the experience where on multiple levels and in many situations to where I'm told that I just have to see things the way other people see them. Why is it that I have to change? Why? How come the individual can't change the way they see things?
And then there's like
Why
me.
can't there be a meeting in the middle?
Then there's me who's like,
Nope.
I will think about how the other person sees it, and then maybe even to my own detriment, I will.
But that's the thing. I can see the way
No, I
other
know,
people
but
see
you
it,
still look at it.
but
in
I refuse to allow the feeling to cloud the judgment.
Yeah. Whereas like, I'm more worried. Like I will worry more about other people's feelings.
Yeah. It's
like
true.
almost, and there are times where it's like not necessary for me to be that way.
Right.
And it actually would probably be better if I didn't do that. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
there's
Patty,
nothing wrong with
Patty said some of us are uncomfortable with a lot of emotion because we grew up with overly emotional people, like manic level emotion. And then Badger said, or others were treated like an item and treated with shallow false emotions, so they struggle with the quality of their own. Wow. I relate with that. Not that I grew up that way, but I relate with, and I don't know, maybe this isn't what you mean, but like, sometimes I struggle with even trusting my own emotions. What are you looking at, honey? Also, is Matt not home?
Matt's home.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, Pandy's still here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like we would have seen her left.
Yeah.
Or we would have seen her left.
I just didn't see her vehicle, but it's behind the expedition, so. Where are you going? You okay?
Yeah.
What's wrong? You got a fart?
No.
She's over there farting, guys. It's okay.
I'm not.
Not a big deal. She's kind of walking around like Jack Sparrow, though.
No, I'm not.
It's weird.
Oh my god.
Anyways, alone at last. How you are? No, yeah, I see things very uniquely. Not chicken enchilada parts, though. No. No, Bo. Like, oh my gosh. Stuff will get you. Ask me how I know. Those are some good enchiladas, though, bro. Badger, are you going to ATS?
All right. Okay. This isn't even plugged into anything.
It was.
Oh. Okay. Will you hold my Pellegrino, please?
If you look, the cord.
Oh. Huzzah.
What is this?
It's Pellegrino. It's just sparkling water. But it's fancy.
But why?
sparkling water. Because he took me to Chipotle today. Because I've been wanting to go there. And I got their salad with their sofritas today.
Oh,
and
man.
a Pellegrino. And I've had like 3 sips of it. No.
Yeah.
It's just sparkling mineral water.
Yep.
I wonder if it's
Sparkling
imported though.
manure water?
Mineral water?
Oh.
Silly. Hi, dog. Can y'all see him? Kind of. Look at his ears. He's so expressive. You're so expressive. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh. Put your ears up. I think he's gonna get in your lap. Not really. He puts it in.
Come. What are you doing? Alright, go lay down.
I love fellowship with you guys. Y'all
Lay.
are grounding to be around. Aw, thank you, Badger. We love you guys. Y'all should come visit.
His tail gives away his... Yeah, it does.
And his ears.
All the way.
His ear. Look how they're tucked
he's
back right
he's
now.
so expressive.
That's his lovies. That's his lovies.
But if I say, like, if I told him to go get something, he's like, what? What is it? What is it?
Oh, I missed that.
What? Missed what?
Oh, so Patty said, yes, I crave balance, peace, not extremes in emotion. Ooh, Patty. I would probably annoy you. Like, I didn't, you know, it sucks though, because I really didn't have that growing up. It wasn't until I developed issues with the anxiety and stuff that I started having problems with that. But he said not chicken enchilada farts though. And
here's the thing with what Lauren just said though.
hi, Chris Haynes.
And Chris Haynes, shalom, brother. I have been over the years trying to teach Lauren that you can be purposeful, or rather, by being purposeful with what you say and do, can overcome what's going on in your subconscious mind. Because we are mind, body, and spirit. And our spirit and our body are to control the mind, not the mind control the other two. Which is a problem with emotion, which is kind of what got us on this whole subject. So if you are purposeful with what you're doing, sorry, my dog got distracted by the fire, and sometimes he'll just stand there and start barking at the fire.
It's the embers that he doesn't
Yeah.
like. He's a fire dog.
Something like that.
No, for myself, I crave that. My Hispanic family is highly emotional. The women.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
That checks out.
It's a squatch. Oh my gosh, you guys got to see the drawing of TJ on his Patreon of him staring up at a squatch in a tree. He thought it was so funny.
Oh my gosh,
that
is so
the guy
good.
drew him with a cigar. He was holding a sheep in one hand and had a freaking chainsaw in the other. Like, oh my goodness. And he's just like looking up, and there's this Sasquatch in the tree holding a nuke or bomb
Such a
or something.
freaking good photo, man.
Oh man.
Such a
Did you
good
get to see the
picture.
one of Twitch today?
Yeah, that was a really good picture
Yeah.
too. Hurry up, you're dying.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, but anyways, Paul actually kind of touches on the idea of if there's anything lovely or of good report. Dustin Pribble, shalom. What do you say?
He said, howdy, shalom. I guess YouTube doesn't like me with the notifications.
Yeah, it happens to me too all the time. Anyways, Paul actually says that if there's anything that's lovely, of good report, that's beautiful, you know, so on and so forth, anything that's
praise.
worthy of praise, think on
Noble.
that. You have to be purposeful in your mind so that even whenever something in the back of your mind, aka your subconscious mind, when your subconscious is going crazy and man, that dude pissed me off, or gosh, I'm a piece of crap, whatever, blah,
Or
blah,
an-
blah,
or
blah,
an
blah, blah, blah,
accusing
blah,
spirit,
blah,
too.
or
Even-
an accusing spirit, you can shut that off by a conscious thought. You have to be, what's the word?
Purposeful?
Purposeful, it's a synonym for that. Starts with an I. Intent.
Intentional.
Be intentional with your thoughts. Purposeful, yes. Be intentional with your thoughts. You can shut off the subconscious by your intentional thought. No, I refuse to think about that. Gosh, that's a pretty flower.
And see, I think that's where your personality is so wired to where that's easier.
It is, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
so when you're someone who is affected more emotionally to the idea of just being able to do that. It's a greater feat. Like it's more effort. It doesn't mean it can't be done. It just
Yeah.
means that it's the effort that it takes to accomplish that
Is greater.
is greater, and
But the thing is, it is a skill that is to be developed.
yeah,
It is a
it's a
muscle
muscle.
that is to be grown.
Yeah, it is.
And the only way you grow it is by working it out.
There are certain mental I don't really like the word disorder. There are certain mental struggles that have to do with having an overactive
Subconscious.
no, an overactive amygdala and stuff like that. The fear center of your brain. Um,
It is a discipline. Yeah.
and it can our brains are not they're placid. They're not. No, they used to think they were placid. Am I thinking of that right? They used to think they were hardwired, like that. The way that your brain was wired is the
It
way
is
will
what it
always,
is, and you can't
there's
change
nothing you
it.
can do about it. They've now found that that is not true at all, and that just like you can break a habit in 21 days, your brain can be rewired. So the overactive amygdala, and of course, I'm sure that there's, you know how there's like the spirit, mind, body thing, like just like we have the Father, the Son, and His Ruach, right? We are also, we have our mind, or we have our soul, our spirit, and our body, right? So I'm sure there's like a biblical connection, I'm sure, to like the way that the brain functions and stuff like that. And I remember that Barbara lady talking about, the verse said, come let us reason together, because our brain, there's a part of your brain that handles reasoning.
Yeah.
And there's a part of your brain that handles fear. There's a part of your brain that handles memory. There's different parts of your brain. But the part that handles the fear, it can be healed, and it can be retrained to not respond
In the manners that it's been
inadequately
trained to.
or over respond to things the way that it's been trained to. It's kind of like, if you think about it, like if you had never known that touching a stove was hot, right? You would have no fear of touching a stove. Okay? You touch the stove, it's hot. Your brain is now registered that that stove is hot. Okay? You are going through life. This particular thing has never made you afraid. Okay? Something happens. You respond inappropriately with a massive amount of fear to a specific subject, or something that you face, whatever. Your brain has now taken that information and has processed it to, this is very scary. This is very important. I need to protect the body
Just alcohol in general, Mark
from
Chase.
from going through this again. And so now this particular thing has got a trigger. Okay? But unlike the
Nothing is
healthy
hot.
unlike the healthy response to not wanting to touch a stove because that's a legitimate thing, it doesn't have to be legitimate when it comes to anxiety and other disorders.
Yeah.
It can be completely irrational, but your brain doesn't see it that way. But you have to teach it, and it can be taught. So yeah. Somebody said, Mark said that I believe emotions properly applied. Wow, I'm having a hard time talking. Are really valuable. Absolutely.
Absolutely what I've been
Absolutely.
saying. Yeah.
Deliberate is another good word, Justin. He said intentional or deliberate. That's really good.
That's a great word. Be deliberate with what you're talking or what you choose to think on. Which actually brings me to the next point. Is like, when Scripture says that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, because you praise. Your praise is a weapon. You know why? Is because it actually causes you or forces you to engage in the Spirit. It forces you to shut off what's going on in your mind and engage with the Father. Praise is a purposeful, intent, deliberate act. And you can't have anything else going on when you're praising and focusing on something other than yourself.
I mean, I found myself praising and still feeling the feelings of fear or whatever feelings I'm feeling. So I wouldn't say that you.
But are you being deliberate? Like your
Yes.
purpose?
And I think there are things where I've like deliberately been like, you know what, I'm gonna just disregard that. And if I truly do it, then I'm able to get myself out of that place
Right.
of what I'm worrying or thinking
But the
about or
words are
whatever.
if you truly do it.
Mhm.
That's the
Yeah, because
thing.
it's that like wavering back and forth.
If you're actually doing the act, if
Mhm.
you're deliberately doing the act and following through, it is a
Miss Lovely
weapon that can be
Dudley,
utilized to shut off what's going on in your subconscious.
she said it's a mind shift that must happen earlier. She said that.
100%. Yeah, absolutely, Miss Lovely Dudley.
Growth in the direction you need to grow in doesn't occur if you aren't intentional every day. That's right, Badger. Um, ever hear musicians play without emotions? It's sterility. Oh man, he is that piano thing. What were we watching the other day? He was playing something.
I'm a
and
musician.
He had the snail face going, but he wasn't playing a guitar. What was it? Was it a piano or something?
Me?
No, we were watching somebody play some instrument. It wasn't a guitar, and he started getting the snail face. Have
Oh.
y'all seen the thing where they take these photos of these rock stars and they've got like this disgusting I just smelled the worst fart in the world face going on? And they take the guitar, they Photoshop the guitar out and they put a
Hush.
slug. They put a slug there instead. And it's so funny. I'll have to put that I gotta put that on Patreon too. Oh my gosh. We get on autopilot and have to take a breath, be intentional and present in the moment to step away from those thoughts. Isn't that why they made beer? What?
That's why no, alcohol. Alcohol in general. I like bourbon.
Unless you've been a line cook or a welder, then nothing is hot. J.S. Badger, white fingertips. Amen. Praise and gratitude are powerful. A line cook, right? Or a welder. A welder, I would imagine you could get some, yeah.
But that's
I'm
that's
hungry.
also one reason why working out is so important, because it triggers the chemical reaction that that triggers endorphins and dopamine in your body, and I'm pretty sure it combats
Combats depression.
what's the
Cortisol?
cortisol.
Well, actually, there have been studies for women. You know, we're taught to do cardio, like massive amounts of cardio. And I actually have read that causes a cortisol response in your body. Strength training is really good for women. Um, so, like, you don't need to, like, run
Strength
every...
training across the board for men
Yeah.
and women.
Yeah.
It's not just a woman thing.
Shalom,
Lost light. Shalom.
Man, I'm hungry. I wasn't hungry when I made you guys dinner. And now I am very hungry.
I'm hungry too.
Really?
Imagine that.
What are you going to make us?
I don't know. Probably not. I'll go eat those dried mango.
In one sitting.
Yep, one sitting.
We were at Aldi
Every bit of
today, and he's like, "Oh, dried mango," and I was like, "Look at the price on that. It's like not even that big of a bag." And he's like, "It's $3.99." I was like, "You'll eat that in one sitting." He's like, "I just spent $30 at Chipotle, or 31 something." I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll get them."
For you, I did this for you.
Yeah, we were like, we can't do this all the time. Oh my gosh, drink the hot
Kool-Aid.
Have y'all ever seen that? Oh my gosh.
What did Chris Haynes say? Next training regimen is going to be focused on grip strength. Ordered some hand bands and a gripper. Just get a pull-up bar,
Chris
dude.
Haynes is
If you
want to
work on grip strength, get a pull-up bar and
a boss at that shooting range thing.
Oh yeah. Chris Haynes can shoot.
Autopilot can be detrimental. Much better to be intentional. My next training. Okay, we had
Some kettlebells
homemade
too.
Salisbury steak, mashed taters, and scratch gravy. Okay, Badger, can you just like stop? We're both talking about being hungry, and then you're like, we had. What the heck, man?
Everything's gotten pricey, Lone Star.
Oh my gosh.
Everything is pricey nowadays.
It has gotten pricey. Well, no, that's about what it was now.
Yeah, but that
$8
one,
a
you spent
gallon?
$5 on that bottle of sparkling water.
That wasn't $5. Was
Yeah.
it really? I'll never buy that again. I did not know.
Mhm.
Sorry. How much was your Coke?
Like 3.
Okay, that's stupid. We should have gotten water.
Yeah.
$8 in drinks. I mean, I did get water, basically. Whatever gets y'all here, sis. Well, I'm not eating. I'm eating a very specific diet right now, so I couldn't have eaten that anyway. But Heath would.
I'll wolf them down for you.
Well, Patty, we have all these chickens, and we haven't gotten eggs in like 3 months. So we've gotten 2 eggs in the last probably 3 months.
3 months, more than that.
There's a bunch, and we just keep feeding them. We even switched their feed because Sam had heard or saw on something, somebody was saying that they weren't getting eggs, and they switched their feed, and all of a sudden they started getting them. So we switched our feed to a more expensive feed, and I don't think
Just
we're
because it's
getting
the
it.
winter.
Well, it wasn't the winter before.
No, I'm aware. I'm just saying, like, what?
Yeah, Aldi is pretty good, but the 469 Lone Star, is that for like the cage-free organic, or is that for the like white, like the normal ones? Well, Badger, the problem is this was happening when the light wasn't like this. They haven't been laying for months, but that's not a bad idea to try and put a light in there and see if that makes a difference.
Yeah, I think we haven't had eggs since
Summer, I'd say.
August or September.
Maybe even before that. I don't know, honestly.
Sing them a song.
Sing 'em a song.
How about I just slit all their throats and put them in the freezer? I'll go buy more chickens.
Oh my gosh, Heath.
What?
Sing him a song? How about oh my gosh. What is that song? That song goes
Lone
to?
Star's chickens are on strike too. Ramped back up after the freeze, and he makes his own chicken food.
Oh, how does he do that? I wonder.
I've created a great death metal song.
Oh my
Can't wait to
God.
hear it.
Oh, just feed him to the fire.
Fire ants! The fire ants! Fire, fire, fire!
Oh my gosh, I'm getting 6 eggs with 18 hens. I have like
Dude, we
a
have like
ridiculous
50
amount of-
hens and not
no,
a
we don't
single.
have 50, but we have a lot. But still, 6 with 18 hens is also bad. I have to reposition. Oh my gosh, my lower back.
We went from approximately 18 to 24 eggs every day to nothing
Yeah.
overnight. It felt like overnight.
We have chickens that haven't started laying yet that were born in the spring that should have been laying for the last
Bunch
month or
of
two.
freeloading
Like they're
cheapskate
young,
little.
like they haven't even. The only thing I can think of is
mooch.
they're eating them as soon as they lay them. That's the only other thing I could think of, and I don't know how to stop
Eggshell
that.
and all?
Well, that's the thing. There's no evidence. No one has yolk on them, and normally you would see like
Yeah.
something.
And there's no snakes. We don't have any predatory animals that are coming in.
And eating them. We thought for a while it was a snake.
Yeah.
And then we like finally realized like no, I don't think it's a snake.
Because
Could be
if it
something
were
wrong
a
with them. They
snake,
could
surely
have
we
mites
would have.
or something like that. That could be a thing. I need to give their coop like an insane cleaning. It's really bad.
Coop camera?
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of that, the death metal song, it's super annoying. So in our gym is awesome. They have a women's area that I like to go to, but on the other side of the women's area is the CrossFit area, and we go at like 5 something in the morning. Well, these same guys go at the same time that we go, and they go in there, and majority of
That
the time
bastard.
they play.
Chris Haynes, it better not be.
they play Linkin Park really, really loud. The like, I don't care, don't turn your back on me. That one. And like I'm sitting in here trying to work out, and I hate music like that. I used to listen to such horrible music. And if you still like that, no offense. Personally, I grew up. Yeah, I grew up. Not grew up actually. In my early my teen and 20s, in early 20s I just listened to terrible music like rap music, and I just had a terrible taste in music. I just don't like it now. I hate screamo. Like I hate screamo music. I loathe it. I think it is like nails. I just hate it. I hate it.
I'm not a fan of it either.
But and like Linkin Park is like on the edge of being that. They're like alternative with some screaming. Not quite screaming, but like yelling. And so to like work out in the morning and have to listen to that is super annoying. I gotta get some headphones, Heath. So today they
I'll
played
give you
something.
mine.
They played something other than Linkin Park this morning, and Heath was like, "This isn't Linkin Park." And I was like, "This is the first time I've ever heard them play this," and it was so refreshing. And it actually had a nice beat. So I was like working out, like, "This is
Yeah,
okay."
we can do this. Okay.
Yeah, I can do this.
Back to my box steps.
Whatever. It's the Sasquatch cooking omelets. The Sasquatch is coming in.
That's what I
Taking our
said. It
eggs.
better not be. I've been cleared hot. Shoot
What
on
about that
sight.
huge king snake at Socote? Maybe he's around. There was a huge king snake?
Yeah.
They let it live, right? King snakes are good. Badger, meh. I'd rather play frisbee in the park. You remember that video last night, Heath, of the guy who gets to the frisbee place and he like opens
Oh,
up
to
the thing
play with his dogs,
and there's
he
no frisbee.
didn't bring a frisbee, and
But
then here comes the puppy with the frisbee they lost two weeks ago.
And it was like,
Yeah!
it was some song. Like
Good boy.
Oh man, it's 8:20. We were gonna watch The Chosen. Now it's bedtime. We go to bed so early. Last night I was like telling my mom, I was like, well, we're about to get in bed. It was 8:30. Like that's by 8 o'clock. We're like, let's go to bed. It's
Shalom,
late.
Jimmy Carr. Yeah. What do I listen to working out? I either listen to podcasts or worship.
So I listen to worship. I haven't done this in a while, but I used to run to jazz.
Yeah, freaking weirdo over here.
I like jazz. Oh man.
I would beep bop skidot chow.
No, I would run to like Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong, or like Michael Bublé.
Freaking, gosh.
Yeah, running to jazz is so calming. Jazz, I just like jazz. I don't know.
I really like listening to like more upbeat praise type music, or something that's a little harder by Rick Pino, because Rick Pino has some really awesome hard-hitting songs that are like I Am a Warrior type music. I don't know. As soon as I catch grass carp as a workout, what did Ark say?
Okay, first of all, Jimmy Carr said, I just showed up. Time to end the show.
There it is. All right. Okay, bye.
I've heard of jazz hands, but never jazz feet for running. Jazzercise. I'd as soon catch a grass carp as work out, but I started doing it anyway. What's a grass carp? Some Jocko motivational will make you move your glutes. That's what Badger said. Work out the skillet.
Today we're working on our glutes. I don't know what they are, but when the bad guys see them, they just gonna give up.
Oh my gosh, work out the skillet. I remember skillet.
I still like skillet. I'm just kind of, I don't know. Every now and again, I'll like freaking go like a little bit off from what I normally do and like turn on some like I don't know.
Well, there's your favorite song, Keith.
What's that?
Really? Your favorite song?
What's my favorite song?
Jeez.
What's my favorite song?
Sultans of Swing.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good
Keith
song
will,
right
you
there.
would probably do a
I
full
will-
workout to
oh
that
my
song on
gosh.
repeat.
On repeat. That song never gets old. But every time I listen to that song, it's like, I need to play guitar.
He's talking.
What is it?
If we say what is it or like what was that,
He
he's
goes
like,
to investigate.
Oh, okay, I'll go find out. Or like starts running. Sometimes we do that to him and there's nothing, and he like runs out and he like looks around. He's like,
Runs around, barks, but he can't find anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand. Like, what are you freaking out about?
It's a worthless fish nobody wants to catch. LOL.
Carp is
Lone
not
Star,
good.
unless it's Chuck Mangione. No, what's that? I don't know who that is. Rob Bailey is cool. What is Rob Bailey? Is that a person? Is that an artist?
I don't know. Normally, like if I get out of the zone and I want something heavy, it's like I'll turn on, or maybe I'll go to like POD because I haven't listened to it in like forever.
Oh, what is POD? Oh my gosh, that's a Christian band.
Yeah.
It's something. What is
POD is the reason why the guitarist of Korn, he stopped playing.
Really?
Yeah.
He got saved?
He got saved.
Wow.
And POD got under a whole bunch of chastisement because like, oh, you're touring with Korn, blah blah blah, you're not a Christian band and this and that, and then all of a sudden the guitarist was like, yeah, I'm out. I can't play this music and worship the Father. It's the two don't go together.
Oh.
And then the guys for the band POD, they were just like, we're sharing the gospel with these guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, so there's
POD is
profanity, but
pretty
it gets you in
legit.
the zone. That's Rob Bailey. Okay. Jazz is cool. I started learning drums with jazz, but morphed my playing into like a hardcore metal mixed with jazz. You get bored and exploratory with decades of playing. Hardcore metal mixed with jazz. Scoopity ga! Ah! It's a scream. Oh my gosh.
But Breaking Benjamin,
I remember,
Breaking Benjamin has some pretty good stuff.
Mac has some great instrumental metal tracks on his videos, and I have looked up songs I used to like from metal artists
No.
with the lyrics removed.
Lay. Good boy. Good boy.
Suka sat straight up when she heard him bark. That's that cat that Patty got to take home.
Yeah.
So just like, so during Sukkot, right? This cat shows up, and our neighbor, we had given them some kittens when we had all the kittens, and two of them disappeared. Well, then this little black kitten showed up, and they thought, is that the black one? But it wasn't. It was a different black kitten. Showed up, totally bonded with Patty. It really liked Patty and Patty's dog. And Patty ended up getting to take this little kitten home and named it Suka. And because it was at Sukkot, it was so cute. And it's an adventure cat. It has a leash and everything. It's awesome.
Yeah, I just haven't dove into music a whole lot to really find bands like that.
There's that reggae guy.
I'm really
I don't
just
know.
Mattis Yahoo.
Yeah, I don't know if
I'm
he's
just
like-
really disinterested as a whole because I'm more like into self-development type stuff. So I really spend more time
Cool.
either listening to worship or podcasts.
Well, I'd say you really like classic rock too. Like as far as genres go.
Oh
You're
yeah,
really into
Blues.
like Eric
I'm
Clapton.
all into blues, all in
Yeah, blues a lot.
anything Mark Knopfler's just freaking awesome. Obviously, it's Dire Straits. I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place with music, but I just don't listen to a lot of it anymore. Is probably the best way I know how to say it. Yeah. Anyways,
I'm just looking up Matisse Yahoo. There was some stuff.
rather just listen to good inspirational. Yeah. Write and record your own workout music. I could. I need the recording equipment. That's basically my barrier to entry. And then me knowing me, if I'm going to put money into recording equipment, I'm not going to buy crap. I'm not going to buy trash.
Annoying.
I'm not a buy once, cry once. I will literally consider it a waste of money if I'm buying anything less than what I know I want.
Mastodon was too hard for me. I feel like I've heard that name before.
Yeah, Mastodon is
Yeah.
not for me.
Music isn't the
that's
same
like-
when you have a relationship with the Father.
That's like even too light for TJ.
Tommy Emmanuel is a guitarist I love listening to. We'll check that out. Yeah, Heath really loves a good like guitar in a song. Like if there's a good guitar solo in it, like you love that new life worship one that you used to try and play all the time.
Used to try.
Not you used to play. Sorry,
Used to nail it every time.
Oh my gosh. Zadok went that way.
Did he?
Or he probably went over there. He likes to sleep over there for whatever reason.
Zadok. Come. See which direction he comes from. There he is. Hey, good boy. Hey, good boy.
You hear PD bark? What are you doing?
Mom. Hey,
What
Mom.
are you doing?
Hey, Mom, I'm here. I'm here. Daddy called. Daddy called.
What?
He can't hide it. He's beating me.
His 2x4 tail.
John Standifer.
Who is
What does John Standifer play, Mark Chase?
that? Oh, come on. I can picture you on the treadmill trying to keep a beat with the Spanish flamenco track.
I could do that. I could keep a beat.
That was okay. So when I was a figure skater, I loved the tango because I did ice dancing, and so ice dancing is like ballroom but on ice. So we had compulsory dances, okay, and that meant that there were 3 different things you did. You had what was called a free dance, and that's where you and your partner had a completely unique routine with your own music. And all your competitors had that. Then you had what was called the OD, which is the original dance. That was
OD.
it had to be a certain type. So every year they would pick if it was going to be a foxtrot, a waltz, a tango, a cha-cha, a rumba, and whatever they chose for that year. The song that you
DJ
picked.
Roomba on the ice?
No. DJ Roomba. They would choose. I believe that you just had to pick a song that had that beat in it.
Okay.
I can't remember because I didn't have to do OD. I only did free dance. And then they would have Hold on.
Stop sucking.
I'm not. Go.
All the smoke is coming this way. Stop sucking.
Ah!
Blow.
So, and they would have the free
Really blue.
no, you did. Then they would
But
have
look, it worked.
the compulsory dances, and that was the same pattern on the ice to the same music, and so we would all have to do the same pattern, and there were different tangos. There was one called the Paso Doble.
Andrew Barnes. Shalom,
Yeah,
bro.
anyways, there were different dances, and I really loved the tango.
I feel like I just saw you, man.
Now, what was the platform where other musicians could add to the song online? Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Blades of Glory style. Oh my gosh. I wish that movie wasn't so crude.
Sometimes you just got to rise up above the smoke So here I am. Feel the heat though.
Oh my gosh. I have to belt. What happened? It's been going that way this whole time.
It's following me. No.
Dude, go over there so I can sit down. Oh,
Whatever.
look, now Zadok's like, what? Do you want me to fight the fire, Dad? Oh, dang it, look what happened. He came this way.
There it is. There's the wind.
There we go. Okay. Andy, how are you? Heath told me that he saw you today, and you said something about seeds, which is really cool. And also, apparently, you can plant carrots right now, which is insane. That sounds crazy. My leg is going numb. Zadok. What? Is the fire going?
Lay down.
Oh. I love when he talks. That's why I want a husky just because I love when they talk.
Thanks, Chris Haynes.
You planted some this afternoon? This intermission brought to you by Kitty Fire Extinguishers. Boy, Petey is barking at something. So, did you plant them in your what is it called?
Wicking tubs.
Wicking tubs. Did Andy say he didn't bring those by? Those wicking tubs?
He did not.
How did they get here?
I wonder if it was Dr. Willis.
I know, but should I just text him like, did you randomly drop something off down here? Like, they should be like, no.
This
like,
has been
"Eh."
bothering us for months. Where
I
did
just
they
don't
come
understand
from?
where they came from. They were over here.
They're the white ones though, right?
They're the white ones with no labels on them and no holes in the bottom.
I wonder if Misty decided she didn't want
No,
hers.
hers are
because-
still over there.
What?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but he has... Dr.
Cattle.
Willis has a
Yeah,
lot of cattle.
And he's already given me gardening stuff before. So.
Yeah.
We have a really awesome doctor that lives down the road, and when we first got here, he stopped by and saw us and gave
Really
me some
nice
gardening
gentleman.
stuff. He used
Really
to
nice
own the
gentleman.
this property, so.
Yeah. And one day we will own his.
That's awesome.
Maybe. I don't know. He's got a beautiful property down the road.
Yeah, we didn't know that was his property.
It's
and
absolutely gorgeous.
We
walked down there one day.
We were like, this is our dream property. It's so pretty.
Got a nice, beautiful, long driveway. Big old barn. Nice house in the back.
Yeah.
He's got a few hundred acres at least.
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And then in the summer, it had the yellow flowers.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
so
man.
pretty.
Beautiful property. Yep.
Hey, he's falling asleep. He's sitting up.
That's why I got to close some deals. Do some
Are
things.
you sleepy?
Not saying no
Hey, Dad.
more.
Are you sleepy? Huh? What are you doing?
Mama, you're talking to me.
Go get on your bed.
Good boy.
Oh.
Good boy.
His little grunts. We put our little patio couch back outside and that became Zadok's bed, and he curls up on there at night and sleeps.
Yeah.
Look at him, Heath, with his head.
Yeah, he's
Are you
about to be
tired?
out.
Are you tired? You have a long day. We found a dead chicken when we got home yesterday. Just out by the field area, not too far out, but there were there were some feathers on the ground, but like she didn't have any bite marks or nothing had been taken out of her or anything like that. So we don't know what killed her. But we were talking because Zadok, or Heath, Zadok, ugh. Zadok likes to herd the chickens and he likes to run around and he'll even mouth them, but he won't like kill them. So we're the only thing we can think of, oh my gosh, is either something else got it or got a tussle with another chicken, or Zadok was doing his thing where he runs around and herds them, and mouthed it, realized that he heard it, and was like, screw that, left it there because he knows better than to like eat it or whatever. And we left her there, and he was off the leash, and we came back and she was still there. He hadn't messed with her, so we don't know what happened to her.
I think she just died of old age because she was one of our original chickens that we brought from Texas. And we had her for a few years in Texas.
Chupacabra. I had a rooster that spurred a young hen. Oh man, or stepped on it. Yeah, he is a big dog. I mean, he could have like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Aw.
All right, I have to go to the bathroom. So I'll be back.
I really don't believe that it was Zadok.
I'm not know. I gotta go to bed.
Huh?
I told the kids I gotta go to bed.
Alright. But anyways. What's going on with you guys? Talk to me. Two holes in the chest. That's definitely not how you tenderize a chicken. Though, you get an A for effort. My goodness. The smoke is nuts. Sorry, guys. I guess the wind just decided to shift again. It's getting annoying, to say the least. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. Oh. And there's that. Darn it. Zadok, chill. Yeah, sorry. Just stoking the fire. Trying to get things to ignite a little bit more just so that it can smoke a little bit less. Hush. There we go. It didn't work. So anyways, just doing things, new pup. Would we do a hubby and wife Bible dive on family issues? What kind of family issues? What are we smoking? This is the Tabak Especial. It's all I've got left of it. The Tabak Especial Red Eye. Great cigar. Great cigar. I got Cohiba Blue from a brother today that I really, really am looking forward to smoking tomorrow for Shabbat. So that's going to be fun.
All right, well then clean them up.
Here we go.
What?
Dr. Trevor Wilkins,
What's
it's
up?
good to see you here, brother.
What's up?
AVT.
No, you have a cheese sandwich you can eat right there. Love you.
Y'all clean up. No.
On February. What's going on February?
HS?
ATS isn't February, that's March.
No.
First week of March.
Dude.
But
malts are so
if
good. That was-
absolutely ATS, I will be smoking a cigar with you, bro.
Did you tell Andy about the mulch today?
They didn't show up today though, so hopefully they like.
I hope he doesn't decide not to come.
Yeah, that would be stupid. Super irritating. Yeah, March for sure. Absolutely. As many as you want to smoke.
Wondering if we would do a hubby and wife Bible dive on a family issue. What's up?
Yeah, I asked what family issue, or what issues are topics to.
Have we had the what are you smoking yet?
Yeah. Tobacco Special Red Eye.
He meant March. Dang it, I want to sit down. I don't understand what's happening with the smoke.
I don't know. The wind keeps shifting now. I guess we just need to move the chairs to the other side.
Okay, that works.
I swear, if this fire
If it switches sides.
switches again, I'm gonna be PISDOFT. Pissed off. Which I suppose is better than being pissed on. Alright.
This could have been moved smarter. It's okay. You're alright. Mom's alright. I'm alright. What's the matter with you?
How's that? Is that better? It's better
Bye,
for me.
Pandy!
Zeta, come.
Bye, Pandy! Pandy! Bye!
Shabbat shalom. I
Oh,
can feel the heat now. Though.
wow, this is nice.
It's so much better.
Wow.
Need to find out all the details on ATS location, etc. Make travel plans. Yeah.
Well, Andy, we were
Um.
driving by a truck. These people that were trimming trees today, and they had a truck full of mulch. We asked him, hey, where are you taking that? He's like, well, we've just been drinking it to this place. And we're like, well, we would love it if you want to bring it to ours. And he was like, yeah, we gave him the paint job and everything, and then they didn't come.
It could be that it's Friday and they just wanted to go home, so they'll empty the truck
Maybe.
Monday. Hopefully that's the case. I don't know.
Yeah, they'll release it at some point. You'll get an email. Pretty sure it's gonna be in Oklahoma.
I'm pretty sure the location's going to be the same as last year.
Don't give it out on here though. Just in case.
I'm not. If they went to ATS last year, then they already know.
Yeah.
Which obviously AVT and Mark Chase, they know. Offer the drivers some dollars to dump the mulch. See ya! Yeah, that's a good idea. We probably should have been like, hey man, here's $40.
No, if you bring it here, we'll give you $40. Otherwise, we'll give them $40 for nothing. If they didn't show up, you know.
Right?
Oh no.
Yeah, you did. I remember.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that stinks.
Yep. And after speaking with Alex, it turns out those cops there are just a-holes. They don't care about anything.
Really?
Prior service or anything like that. They're just, screw you. Just another ticket.
You gave him vegetables last year, Andy? Hey, baby. It's almost 9.
Is it?
Want some? Cranberries in here.
It's there.
Yeah, I'm not eating the cranberries. They sweetened them.
Oh boy.
Why do they do that? Don't.
So good.
And they have sunflower oil. Like, don't do that. Just put the freaking cranberries in there. Or use raisins or something else. I don't eat sugar anymore. They put sugar in stupid stuff.
So where you been, AVT? Yeah, city revenue meeting quota. It is what it is. Can't control them. All we can do is control our speed.
Shabbat shalom, Andy.
Bless you, Andy Barnes.
Yeah, we're
Shalom.
we're gonna head to bed soon. Make
I'll
sure
try
to give
your
a thumbs
homegrown
up before
tobacco.
You guys jump off.
Yeah. Sorry, it got a little dull. There's pecans in there too?
Yes.
Wow.
Right?
Well, anyways.
Hey, Jimmy Carr, we didn't get off like the moment that you got on here, so that's cool.
Yeah, we stuck around just for you. And we got a treat with
What did they
ABT
say?
here. If you want to change the world, it starts with what?
The man in the mirror.
Did you?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking me so that I would finish that. But did you like what I said?
It's actually fitting. Very fitting.
I don't think if you want to change the world, it starts within. Applies here too with tickets.
Yeah.
I don't think Jimmy Carr ever said what the thing was
What thing was?
for the question. That was Jimmy, right?
Yeah, Jimmy Carr, what was your question?
You can message it if you want on Patreon.
What was your topic?
Oh, yikes, Patty. Oh, but it'll be closer for you to drive there than driving out here for the coat, maybe? Oh.
We'll reach out to you
Yeah.
via message on Lauren's
Patreon.
Patreon. Yeah, Jimmy Carr?
Speaking of open,
What?
we super need to go get the, I need to be done with these now. We super need to go get the, new licenses and the, you want that?
Yep.
And the P.O. box.
Yeah, we need to go get all of that.
Cool.
Anyways, guys, we're going to call it. Love you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Um,
Remember, you're worthy through Yeshua.
That's right.
Stay in Teshuvah.
And for AVT and Jimmy Carr, since y'all showed up late,
What?
when you
No.
you take the communion,
We're about to come in.
taking of the communion
No
in an
Roku right now.
unworthy manner is this: not recognizing that the bread is reminiscent of our Messiah Yeshua, that it is his body that is broken for us, and by his stripes we are healed, right? As specified in Isaiah chapter 53. and not recognizing also that the blood, within his blood is the establishment of the new covenant that we have, or I'm sorry, not new. The word is actually renewed, and you can read it in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, and around verses 25 or something like that. But anyways, recognizing, being purposeful in the recognition that the wine that you drink is Yeshua's blood, and by his blood we have been bought for at a price, which was his blood. That's what you came for, bro. Cool. But his blood, we were bought for, we were redeemed at the price of his blood, and the chastisement of our peace was upon him, and by his stripes his body was broken and bruised for our iniquities, and by his stripes we are healed. So when you're taking that broken bread, you are truly recognizing that he is the one and only begotten Son of the Most High living God, and all of every bit that is specified in Isaiah chapter 53, that is the blood, and that is the body of our Messiah when we take it. And it is a symbolism and recognition of what he did. And when we are consciously taking that communion, there's actually healing in that. Your body can be healed. It's amazing. It's beautiful. But the unworthiness, as it specifies in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, do not take it unworthy. To be unworthy of taking that is to not recognize that that the blood, or that the wine is his blood, and the bread is his body that was broken for us.
Because we're all unworthy.
Patty, you don't need to go to church to do communion. He says, do this as often as you do it in remembrance of me. Do it as much as you want. Do it once a day if you want to. Do it twice a day if you want to. Lauren's been doing it 3 times a day here lately. But there's power in it. And by doing this physical action, you're actually invoking the word of the Most High and sending his word back to the Most High.
It says his word will not return to him void.
And his word will not return to him void. Meaning it will accomplish the very thing it was set out to do. So if within the breaking of the bread, and we take that in, and we are accepting that his stripes, his bruises, his lashes that he took for us, that by all of that he did for us, you eat that in, and you're accepting the healing that we have in that. To believe or take it with any other meaning makes you unworthy of that very thing. Which then it goes into a little bit deeper and says that because of that, because people have taken communion without the acknowledgement and the acceptance that Yeshua is the Messiah and his body was broken for us as specified in the prophets, they are sick.
What is that? It's just water.
And they are weak. And some of them have even died because of it.
I know Jet doesn't want that.
Or the word that Paul uses is they are asleep now. Communion was at sunset. Now working on the whiskey cigar communion. Right on, bro. But yeah, a lot of people get wrapped around the axles of around the idea of being unworthy. And the only thing that, first of all, we are all unworthy of the sacrifice that our Messiah laid down for us. Will this be on your channel after the stream is over? Yeah, I can make sure that when it's saved, that it will be public. Yeah, I'll make sure it saves public. What's up, man?
Wow.
Come sit down.
Wasn't sure if you were done or not.
Well, Lauren's done.
Can I sit in her chair?
Yeah.
Sweet.
But anyways, I can't wait to see you, AVT, Mark Chase. Y'all are awesome brothers. Lone Star, can't wait to see you, brother. Yeah, man, Crazy Canuck, we're still alive, and it's Moose.
What's going on?
So the title of this video, maybe we'll go longer, I don't know now. Crazy Canuck just showed up again. Maybe he really just wanted to say hi twice, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, we were talking about communion. Fingers that a spot will open up. Man, I hope so. I hope so, man. We'll see. Yes, longer visit with Matt. I think we can do that. What's going on with you?
Not much.
Nothing?
Long day of work.
Yeah?
Long week.
Oh, hi.
Hey, I'm sitting in your chair. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure. I got a new job. I like it. Working for FedEx.
Yeah.
Yeah. New beginnings for a lot of things.
Of course I did. Dr. T, long time. Yeah.
No, we were supposed to do a short live video that we started at 6:45, and it's ended up running till 9.
Usually how it goes anyway.
Well, sometimes we don't have like a lot of like good subjects, but we had really good stuff to talk about today, so that was cool.
Yeah, and it's this is a very applicable subject because later on, when we get closer to Passover, I will actually be covering Passover for the men's group Monday, and this is going to be a highlighted point that I will touch on whenever we cover this again. So yeah, it's really important.
Choking one of the bull mooses.
Yeah, my last one.
Oh man.
But we were talking about how we're
we were
talking about the idea of what truly makes you unworthy of taking the communion.
Like, cause I don't know if you were taught this, but growing up and like or in church as a young adult, I was taught if you take it that don't take it unworthily, or else like you can get sick and stuff. And so I
Which
was
is what
always
Scripture
I was
says.
like afraid to take it. Like I'd be like, well, I'm not worthy. Like I would never feel good enough to take it. So
Yeah.
I would just like let it pass by a lot of times.
So, like in the church I grew up in, they were adamant in stating like, hey, if you're going to take communion, you better spend some time repentance, and we're all just going to take the next 15 minutes and repent of everything that we freaking can,
Yeah.
and blah blah blah. And it's not even what Yeshua was saying.
Not that we shouldn't, because
Not,
we are.
not
it
that
does
we
say to
shouldn't
examine
repent.
yourself.
We
Yeah.
should absolutely examine ourselves, but at the same time, it's also wrapped up in whether or not you truly believe that Yeshua was the Messiah. If you don't believe that he is the Messiah, then do not take it because you are unworthy of it.
I mean, the symbolism in it is taking in the blood and body of Yeshua.
Yeah.
So if you're not a believer, then I think that could potentially be dangerous spiritually and maybe physically as well.
Well, there's a physical aspect to it. And when you read, excuse me, when you read in Isaiah chapter 53, it says that he was not a man that would naturally be, we would be inclined to like chase after, like, oh man, that's a good looking dude, or he's a natural born leader, or whatever. He's not a man that you would be naturally drawn to, right? But he was broken and bruised. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. We are healed. So when he broke the bread and he gave it to the disciples, he said, "This is my body," signifying the very thing that Isaiah was saying in chapter 53. That this is what I am about to go through. And by you taking this bread and acknowledging that I am the very one that he was referring to, you can and will be healed by your own belief. There's a physical aspect to it. And there's a lot of freedom in it. Because the truth of the matter is, no man is worthy. The Bible even goes as far as stating that the human heart, meaning all mankind, the human heart is continually evil and wicked in all its ways, and who can know it? So if that's truly the case, what in the world would possibly make me worthy that the creator of the universe would desire to send his own son, the word that became flesh, the Torah, to have a relationship with me? Because admittedly, by Torah, I am only worthy of the rock pile. There's a lot of stuff I've done that none of you know anything about. And I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that every bit of you have done that would make you worthy of the rock pile yourselves, right? For all have sinned, all have transgressed the law.
When you break one, you're guilty of breaking all of it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, without the acknowledgement that Yeshua is who he said he is, communion does you no good. It's actually better that you don't take it. Because actually, in a way, if you think about it this way, if you take of the communion without the acknowledgement of Messiah, you're taking his name in vain.
Yeah.
You know? There's a thought. What do you guys think? It's sobering. So we got to be careful. But the only thing that makes you truly worthy is the acknowledgement that he is who he said he is. Saturday's Zoom will be the 6th commandment. It's going to be great. Oh boy. Well, the wind changed direction. We started with our chairs over there.
Smoke follows beauty.
It sure does, man. It sure does. It's been following me everywhere I try to sit. But anyways, guys, my phone actually just hit. My phone decided it's going to die soon. And my wife, she took the phone charger for her own phone. So there's that. I'm going to have to call it because we're at 2.5 hours. So bless you guys. I hope you have a wonderful evening and a great Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Bless you all. and hopefully I'll see some of you awesome guys on the Shabbat Zoom call tomorrow. Bless you guys.